mine in Del Mar. He was with the Chargers at the time that he got his shoulder busted up, diving for a fumble. Made the phone call to Dr. Andrews. They flew back. Dr. Andrews put his shoulder back together, and I got involved with Drew's rehab. And that little interaction with Drew Brees ended up with the quarterback stuff that we're doing right now. It's all word of mouth, never advertised. And 3DQB is in business because of Drew Brees and the rehab that he did and the fact that it turned out they told him he'd never throw a football again. We took pitching stuff, applied it to quarterback, and found that it's almost the same thing.
Well, what's awesome, and we hear this a lot in baseball, not so much in football, but the undersized, the player that people didn't think would make it. Drew Brees is an example of that. 6 foot, maybe 190 pounds. The longevity he's had in the NFL has been phenomenal in the work he's done when he revitalized his career in New Orleans.
The funny thing when you look at these superstars, you mentioned Drew Brees, we talked about Nolan Ryan, but the Tom Bradys, and these guys are all elite athletes, and they have one thing in common. They show up at the ballpark every day trying to get 1% better. Their commitment to excellence is off the charts, and Drew is one of those guys that was undersized, yes, but everything else is elite.
Now, you're known for working with the premier players in the game, both baseball and football. For our listeners that are, maybe that parent or that coach that's working with that 10, 11, 12U player, let's stick with pitching for now because that's your expertise. What would you tell that coach on some things that they can do with that, 11, 12, 13-year-old kid?
The thing is to make sure that they stay in season. Pitching is not a year-round thing. They have to have fun. One of the issues I'm seeing around youth baseball, youth sports in general, is that it's not fun for the kids. It's about competition and getting scholarships and winning. Nobody cares how many games you win when you're 12. Are you healthy and having fun? And then if you can get the kid staying involved with sports through his junior, senior year in high school, then you can start worrying about competition and lifelong commitment.
Tom, you've written several books, The Art and Science of Pitching, The Picture-Perfect Pitcher,
Good job,
The
you said
Pitching
that.
Edge, Fit to Pitch. Where do you have time to do all this?
I don't know if you can tell. I don't sleep a whole lot, so when I can't sleep, I write. And you write books by doing 1 page a day, and after a couple hundred days, you got a book. But again, I've been blessed by being in that crease between old school and new school, and I've always had something to write about, good, bad, or indifferent, and I've surrounded myself with really good people that help me with stories.
And Tom, for our listeners that want to find out more of your content, is there a certain website they should go to, or just Google Tom House Pitching, or what's a good place to find your content?
Any of the above. Well, you can go to nationalpitching.com would be one way. You can Google my name. You can go to 3DQB. Probably Googling my name will get you in a number of different directions, but nationalpitching.com or 3DQB.com.
Now, before you leave, and again, thank you so much for joining us here on Behind the Dish, I want to put you on the spot and ask you maybe to share 1 or 2 quick stories, your coaching days or playing days in the clubhouse, some funny shenanigans that went on with some players that you're able to share. It's a family-friendly audience.
Let's see if I can clean this up. Okay, I'm pitching against Pittsburgh Pirates. Eddie Matthews brings me in to face their left fielder at the time, great big left-handed, I'm drawing a blank on his name. He said, okay, I don't care what happens, don't let him take you deep. Before Eddie Matthews' butt hit the bench, the game was over. So Eddie put in my mind, don't let him take you deep. My 100 million cells said, okay, let him take you deep. That's what happened. The next day I came in a ball game, and I'm trying to get Willie Stargell. There I came up with it. I'm trying to get him out in a first and second with a 2-run.
Is that when he was with the Pirates?
Yes, sir, it was. And I ticked my leg as I'm going to home plate to throw the ball. So I'm fighting to get to the ball. I'm fighting. It turns out I throw the ball over the first base dugout. So they didn't know whether it was a pass ball or a wild pitch. But
Okay.
It's a big argument about that. So men on second and third, I come stretched to resume. I look over at their dugout, and everybody in the Pittsburgh dugout had their hats on backwards, looking like catchers, saying, come on, Housey, over here. So those are the kind of things that fans don't see. But from one day to the next, they are funny.
Well, folks, Lifetime Achievement Award winner here at the ABCA. He's done so much for the great game of baseball, and he's now in a position to give back to fellow coaches. Let's give Dr. Tom House a big ABCA welcome, and thank you for being here on Behind the Dish. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. Good job. Nice talking to you.
Hey everybody, my name is Kyle and I'm the producer for Behind the Dish with John Piper. We put a lot of effort in here to bring you the topics and guests that we think are relevant to the sport of baseball and to your everyday life. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.